Just getting back to the ranch from a week-long work trip down in Flint, Michigan, where I guess the water was bad, but no effects on me at this time. But anyways, it was a good work trip, good training. So I got the Ranger behind me, getting ready to go check out. I had some 10 chestnut trees planted, so we'll show you that, and then show you a couple things that we're looking at doing out here for food plots. This is one really nice thing I like with the Ranger. I have the window flipped up on glass here, and it's like 82 degrees and kind of humid, so you can pull that glass down or you can push it up. So on a day like this, it's a great day to have the window flipped up. So I am on one of the food plots. We have really sandy soil out here. I have dumped a little bit of horse manure out here, and I know the horse manure can create some weeds, but at the same time I think it'll help the soil more than hurt it. So right there, up in there, we have a ladder stand. Seems to be a pretty decent spot out here on this food plot. So this is a small one. I think I'm going to go ahead and disc this up around Memorial Weekend time here. And we're going to try to do a little bit of corn. I don't know if we'll get one ear, no ears. We're just going to try it, kind of see how it comes out. Can't hurt to really try. So as you can see, right up in there is one ladder stand, kind of blended in pretty good with the white pine. That's kind of a decent spot for if you're getting a south wind and you don't want to go too far from the house. Kind of a short evening hunt. Kind of makes it nice sometimes if you don't want to go too far. So this is that plot. Getting a nice sunset tonight. And just down the trail here we have 2 brand new chestnut trees planted. So hopefully within 3 years we'll start getting some nuts. From what I hear, these are a hybrid chestnut. From what I hear, they once they produce some nuts, they produce them every single year. So we're going to try to disc this up. I'll try to get a little bit of a video of it when we do it. And we're just going to do the old-fashioned kind of see if we can get a little bit of corn in here and see how it comes out. This is another look at that ladder stand. I'll zoom back slow here. And then right here is where one new baby chestnut is planted. So we got it caged, and it was just watered and planted yesterday. So we'll kind of keep an eye on these, and we'll give you an update as the summer goes on, see how they are coming out. So this is northern Michigan, like I said, very sandy soil, and we'll kind of, it did have some dairy dew type stuff mixed in with the soil on that. And then right over here we have one more. You have to plant these about 18-20 feet apart for germination. And you can see this one has some buds on it. So we'll give updates on these as they go along. We've had some decent deer pictures coming down this trail over the last couple of years, and nothing monsters, but we do get some decent ones for our neck of the woods. So hopefully the activity picks up, and hopefully these chestnuts produce and they enjoy the treat. So this is what we call our gun range. We got the berm behind us, so once in a while in the spring, September, you know, summer, we might do a little shooting off here. Got kind of a decent berm. And then this plot is right around an acre, and we're gonna go ahead and try to plant some corn in here as well. So this is gonna be the only two that we're gonna try in corn. And I think right around the last week of October, might take the Ranger and run a row through there for like a little bit of a shooting lane, maybe throw some rye in that lane or whatever, and maybe set something up on top of the hill or something. Could be kind of a cool spot, but either way, just cool to get the deer in here and try to feed them good during the season. So we'll see what happens. Nothing like getting out of the city, especially a big city of Flint, and getting out to the nice and quiet. So blessed to have this property and have the opportunity to live out here. So anyways, here is another food plot, and this has the clover behind it. So as you can see, I do have some weeds and some grass in here, but considering we haven't done any chemicals or anything, I don't think this is half bad looking. So it's kind of a cool little lane here. We have one blind behind us. At some point in time, we'd like to get a couple different blinds and maybe some extra tree stands or some other hang-on stands in a couple areas. So we mainly crossbow hunt, Dad, I, maybe some friends. So if you're ever interested and you're interested in coming out, maybe helping us with a food plot, maybe I can hook you up with a little bit of hunting or something. But yeah, we'll take a look at some of the clover in here. So there it is. I did do a little bit of frost seeding this year, and here's where I'm talking. There's some clumps of grass, but some of this clover in here is really looking pretty good. Still a good amount in here. It's coming in pretty thick. So I think it's going to be all right. We'll see what happens for the fall. But this is one of my favorite parts of the property. Something about the white pines back here. We just think this trail is really cool. Always good to have a little bit of water on the property, never hurts. So this is one spot. It's got a pretty nice scrape growing in here. Noticed this last fall. Looks like it's still somewhat active, so we're gonna probably set something up in here. It's kind of thick. We're gonna probably have to trim a few branches, but there's a little creek by here. But this looks like a pretty decent little spot in here. Here's one spot here. You can tell where the run is at. Comes right up through this little creek here. And right over there is where that scrape's at, coming out of this creek. This is another plot that has some clover in it. I did a little bit of frost seeding on it. This one probably has the most grasses on it. So what do you think? Should I just mow this grass, hit the top of it, and then let the clover come up? I'm not going to I know I should probably spray and do all that, but I don't think I'm going to get to that this year. I don't know if I want to put the money into it. But it does have some clover in here. I'll kind of show you what that looks like. So here's some of the clover. Here's some of the grasses. So I was wondering if I should maybe even just nip that grass, and since the clover is under some of that, get that down a little bit. But there is some decent clover in here. This is kind of a cool spot, especially in the fall time. All the colors in this spot are really awesome. And then it drops down that way into a kind of a cedar swamp that way as well. Here's some of the clover up here. A little spotty in a couple places, but not bad. Some decent tracks coming up through here. This area in the middle, I don't really do a lot. There's a lot of roots right in that. Some pretty thick clover right in here. Going all up this hillside, pretty thick through here. And there's some grass spots that I talked about. This is another one. I'll put the link. We planted these apple trees, it was like 2 years ago. I pruned them up this winter. I'll put the clips in there. We pruned that up this winter, and these seem to be doing pretty well. So there's 3 apple trees up in here. This was a Jeff Sturgis mix recommendation on one of his videos. It was rye, oats, and radish. First time this has ever been used for a plot. It seemed to come out pretty good. Right now the rye's up. I'm going to probably plant something else here in July or August. I'm not sure what I want to try yet. Maybe like a turnips or a radish again. If you got any suggestions, this is northern Michigan. See what you would turn this into. Should I mow any of this rye now, or just wait and disc it all in here in July or August? And what would you put in after that? Just kind of curious on your thoughts. Again, I'm not against spraying or anything, but this year I definitely don't want to put the resources into sprays and stuff. But I'll disc it and see what we can plant. If you think I should put some more horse manure or something on this, let me know. I do want to get more piles of that to be able to put in some of these areas as we can, and disc it in and maybe help the soil out here a little bit. So like I said, these are like 2-year-old apple trees, and they were pruned, and it looks like they're already shooting up pretty good. We'll prune them again maybe a little bit next winter. But these are looking pretty lush so far, and looks like they're growing pretty well. There's a look at the other one. I will put the mats down around these here real soon, just to kind of keep the weeds down around the root area. This winter, or late winter, I did put a little bit of horse manure down on those around the base of that tree, and I think that helped them a little bit. And there's a look at that one. So those are looking pretty good. Now on the apple trees, if you have a recommended spray for on the apple trees, if you have a recommended spray, put the comments below, and what time of the year when we should spray them. Right now it's late May, mid-late May, and put any recommendation that you think for spraying them. I may consider doing that on these apple trees. Granted, these are mainly going to be for the deer, and I expect it's probably going to be a year or two yet before we get some apples going for these guys. But if you think I should spray those now, I might be open to that. And so anyways, put down what you think on the apple trees. Well, this is an area when we do our early October 2nd Harvest Fest. Autumn likes to sometimes do the cider stand here. But we have one apple tree there, and then another apple tree over there, and that spot there, and then that there, those are the 2 chestnuts. We'll go take a look at how these 4 trees are doing. The 2 chestnuts were just planted. The other apple trees were all planted at the same time, like 2 years ago. So that's a look at these. Like I said, I will put a mat down around these here pretty soon here. Maybe tomorrow or next couple days I'm going to put a mat down around those for the spring, and we'll try to keep them watered a little bit during the summer best we can. Let's look at the other apple tree there. I have noticed a couple tiny worms on the leaves, real small. So like I said, on the sprays, just kind of curious what you think, what we should use, not use, and when. So thank you. here is the couple chestnuts. One right there. So 2 years ago we didn't have any apple trees. Currently we have 7 that are planted and they're still growing, and these are the brand new chestnuts, and we did 10 of these. This is heading down to probably my favorite plot on the property. Seems to be the richest soil down here. So this is all clover down in here as well. Here's the apple tree here. This is all in this plot. Last year, December 7th, I had a buck running up along this edge. He came in. I decided to go ahead and take that buck. This year, we're hoping to hopefully get a bigger one than that one. I'll try to hold out best I can. I'm not a Boone and Crockett hunter, but I would like to try to be a little more selective. But it's hard not to take one when it's on your own property. But I'll try to be a little more patient this year. But decent buck. Took him right up over here. He came out here in the middle and was eating this clover in November. Here's this other apple tree here. This one's probably looking the bushiest of it. I do have a licking branch back that way. That seems to be getting some pretty good activity. I just put that up last year, so may try that spot a little bit more and see what happens. So I was gone in Flint doing the training, and these all came from Wisconsin. I'll put the link below where we ordered these. The guy's name was Jeff. Seemed to be a pretty cool little spot to order these from. We ordered 10. I believe it was just shy of 300 bucks. And then our friend Will, he did a great job caging these up, planting them, and Will did an awesome job. Another little chestnut there, coming right out of this little funnel or whatever. And here's that one. And we got a pretty decent deer run coming up out of the cedar swamp back this way. I'll show you this licking branch that we hung up and the scrape under it. So there's our hang on right here. Hang on stand, swamp behind it. Pretty good deer run right here, and we'll show you this licking branch that we put up, and looks like the scrape's being used pretty well. Seems like it picked up more. And that's our licking branch right there. Hung that on, and there's the scrape, and it still appears to be active yet, so pretty cool. And right up, it's about 30 yards, so seems to be a pretty good spot. We'll see how the action unfolds this fall. And gotta shoot that. Check out that sunset up behind here tonight.